Hi everyone, welcome to IXL call. In this video, we're going to demonstrate how to do a bank reconciliation. Bank reconciliation helps us to ensure that all figures are tied, accuracy is captured. To be able to do a bank reconciliation, remember, you can watch a previous video where you can set up the rules for banking for ease. That when you set up a bank, when you do a bank reconciliation, you can set up the rules under accounting. Under accounting and settings, you have banking rules. Banking rules allows you to set up those rules that you normally, or those entries that you normally do on a regular basis. Like for instance, we can say we want to see every time we upload a bank statement, just bank charges or anything. We can be able to set up the rule and say, let's say for instance, bank charges. We say it's money out. Anything that includes bank charges, the description contains, let's say the description of that word on the bank statement contains the word bank charges. What do you want to do with the bank charges? We want to assign the full amount, and the account, we're going to say it's onto the bank charges expense account, so that when we're doing a reconciliation, that will be automatically updated, or automatically the rule will apply to any of these transactions. So we can have these transactions when we see a payment to a certain supplier, it is done, or it's automatically done to the system allocates for us. Now we proceed to bank reconciliations and accounting. The first thing is to ensure we have all the transactions under the banking rule, under the banking module, under the banking setup in the accounting. Here, banking fees, we talked about those accounts. If you look at our played environment video, you'll see how this area we're going to be able to upload, or it's automated for areas or regions that have bank that have played. If we do not have played in a region, we're able to upload a bank statement for that purposes. A region does not have played, therefore we're going to update the bank. We're going to upload the bank statement. From here, you'll have the import transaction button. Once we have that, we can download the template that will allow us to fill in the figures or classify our Excel template like that. Since we already have a template for these purposes of demonstration, is to choose a file, and then we have the February bank statement there. Once you have that, you import. And if it's successful, you'll see all the lines that have been imported, or 22 successfully entered. So that bank has been successfully uploaded. Still under the banking area, under the banking feeds, select the account. And here we have the ability to select from the dates, or we can select all unclear transactions. So all unclear transactions will appear here. For purpose of this video demonstration, we'll go one by one to ensure we clear all these transactions. So these transactions are from the bank statement, and we're going to clear them with what we have existing transactions in our IXL core systems that we posted before. So for instance, on 24th, these are transactions for April, so we might have to ignore it. Then we have 28th of February, 2025. We can match that existing transaction. For instance, the process of matching the transaction, we match the transactions on 28th of February. Then we check on 28th of February. There's 9,000, which we paid out, which we received as a deposit as money coming in on 28th of February. We match that to existing transactions on our transaction module. So we look for the transaction, the list of these transactions. If you're able to type, we can see on 28th February, there was Queen Pay, an amount of 9,000. It was 28th of February, it's a deposit, then we save that. So once we allocate that transaction, it falls under transactions that are cleared. You can see all the transactions that are cleared are here. So even that now that we paid off on 9,000 goes under cleared transactions. So uncleared transactions all are here that we've updated. So we can continue the process of mapping all transactions. Again on 28th, we match to existing transactions. 28th of February, so it's 28th of February. So we have 28th of February here. It's 10,000, which is already in the system, what we're looking for, and then we save that transaction. On 20th of February, again, we have a transaction of 6,300. There we have it, 6,300 on 28th February. We save, and therefore we are clearing our bank match. So transactions are being matched compared to the other. All our transactions are being matched, and you're able to match all the transactions accordingly. So I will pause this video right here and continue matching, and then see you right back after we've done all the video on the matching. Right, we are back. Now, as we continued, we've matched all the transactions. However, we found these transactions have not been matched. So this transaction needed to be on 24th of February. However, it's written 24th of April. To be able to match that accordingly, the system allows us to edit that transaction. We can edit the date. Then you pick 24th of February and save that, remember. Then proceed and match that existing transactions. So we can match, we can use the date, and therefore we have the transaction there, and we can save that. These transactions have not been posted in our system. System allows us to add a transaction, or we can ignore, but we can say we add a transaction because they're existing. The pay is not selected, and that we know it's a bank charge. Then we save that into bank charge. The system automatically matches that. This is a transaction that is a transfer, an internal transfer. So it's an intercompany transfer. We can quickly match those transactions and then save. Sorry, this also did not have any posting in our system. We can quickly create a transaction for that. You can say intercompany. And finally, we have add a transaction, and that was bank charges. And we save. As soon as we save, the system automatically matches that transaction for us as we've created that. Once we finish the process, there is reconcile. Reconcile is where we are going to do our bank reconciliation. Bank reconciliation, it already have the bank that we're reconciling. We can change if there's another bank we want to do a reconciliation from there. The bank already picks in the beginning balances for the last month we did the reconciliation, and then we are allowed to put in the beginning balance, and we choosing the date of the transaction, so which was February, and then on 28th, then we can now, once we've inputted the information, start reconciling. Start reconciling, we have the beginning balance, we have the statement item balance, we have the cleared balance, and then we have the difference. Once we have everything, all the transactions for the month of February, we can start by highlighting the same or by having them checked. So if it's a transaction that for the month of February, we check all of them so that we can see whether we have a difference or not between the debits and the credits that you're having. This is all transactions for the month of February where we have to pick. So all the months of February are picked. Then the next thing is to calculate. The system brings in the payments and the deposits and the cleared balance, and our difference is 0. Once our difference is 0, then we know the month for February, the reconciliation is done. However, if the difference is not 0, therefore we're able to see what has not been added, and we go back to the matching process to ensure everything is matched and cleared so that we have the cleared balance fully and the difference set out there. Once that is done, once the process is done, we are able to say finish now. So if it's ready, if it's done, all difference, if the difference is not yet 0, the system will alert and it will pass an adjusting entry at that point. But if it's not, it's already 0, as you've seen the difference, you can add adjustment and finish that process. So that reconciliation for the month of February, as you've seen, is done. What you're left with is now again the beginning balance the system recognizes, which was the closing balance for our previous transaction. That's how we do a bank reconciliation in IXL Core. Thank you for watching.